Open Language English.
Hi guys, you're listening to an elementary lesson here on Open Language English. My name's Adam.
And this is Chris.
And Chris, today we are talking about dessert.
That's right. How to order a dessert if you're out on a date.
But I think we need to be really clear that we're talking about dessert, the food, not
Desert, the dry place that's found in certain parts of the
a
world.
really dry, no water, no
Yes,
fun.
lots of sand.
Okay, so we are talking about dessert today. D-E-S-S-E-R-T.
Right.
Okay, and now that we've had our spelling lesson, let's listen to the dialogue 3 times.
Dialogue first time.
Wow, that dinner was fantastic. What's for dessert?
Dessert? I'm absolutely stuffed. How can you still be hungry?
Well, I don't want anything too rich or heavy. I just need something for my sweet tooth.
I heard they have a signature souffle here. They're light and airy and won't fill you up. Or maybe some sherbet or tiramisu?
Are you sure you don't want to order a chocolate lava cake or an apple crumble?
You just said you don't want anything too rich.
Right, so you order one. I'll just have a few bites.
Dialogue second time.
Wow, that dinner was fantastic. What's for dessert?
Dessert? I'm absolutely stuffed. How can you still be hungry?
Well, I don't want anything too rich or heavy. I just need something for my sweet tooth.
I heard they have a signature souffle here. They're light and airy and won't fill you up. Or maybe some sherbet or tiramisu?
Are you sure you don't want to order a chocolate lava cake or an apple crumble?
You just said you don't want anything too rich.
Right, so you order one. I'll just have a few bites.
Dialogue third time.
Wow, that dinner was fantastic. What's for dessert?
Dessert? I'm absolutely stuffed. How can you still be hungry?
Well, I don't want anything too rich or heavy. I just need something for my sweet tooth.
I heard they have a signature souffle here. They're light and airy and won't fill you up. Or maybe some sherbet or tiramisu?
Are you sure you don't want to order a chocolate lava cake or an apple crumble?
You just said you don't want anything too rich.
Right, so you order one. I'll just have a few bites.
Okay, and so we have a man and a woman. They've just finished dinner, and the woman says, wow, that dinner was fantastic. What's for dessert?
Dessert? I'm absolutely stuffed.
Yeah. And so this is, good, classic, even kind of English exaggeration. Absolutely stuffed. So if something is absolutely, it's just a way of saying it's completely, totally, 100%. And stuffed. What does stuffed mean?
I'm full. I'm
Yes.
so full. So you can think about stuffing things into, maybe in your suitcase you stuff clothes.
Clothes, yep. And so you're stuffed with food in this
Right.
case. Now, you do need to be a little careful. In British English, the word stuffed means drunk.
Ah, that's
You've had
right.
too much to drink. So if you say to someone, oh, I'm stuffed, that's a very different meaning than I've eaten too much food. So just be a little careful if you're speaking to someone who's British versus American.
A very good point. Okay, in this case, though, since we are talking about food, one of our diners asks, how can you still be hungry?
Right, and he says, I don't want anything too rich or heavy for dessert.
Okay, so rich and heavy here. We use these words to talk about food.
Exactly. And so rich usually means it's got a lot of taste, a lot of flavor.
A lot of butter.
A lot of
maybe.
butter especially, yeah. And heavy, this is obviously a word that's used to describe weight, but it's not saying literally heavy food that weighs more than other food, but it just means it's something that makes you feel full very quickly.
Right,
maybe.
it feels heavy in your
Feels
stomach.
heavy in your stomach, yeah, it's solid.
Okay, but in this case, I just need something for my sweet tooth.
Yeah, so what is a sweet tooth?
Well, a sweet tooth, it's not a real tooth. It is this idea that you like to eat sweet things.
Yeah, so candy, anything with sugar that's sweet.
Right.
Yeah, I've got a sweet tooth. I've got a mouthful of sweet teeth, actually.
He has many sweet teeth. Okay, but in this restaurant, they have a signature souffle.
So if you're in a restaurant and they have a signature something, a signature dish or a signature food, signature just means it is kind of their special. It's what they do the best, their best dish or their best type of food that they make.
That's right. And in this case, the food that they make very well is a souffle. Now, Chris, you seem very experienced with European things.
Oh, do I? Well, a souffle, I have, yes, eaten a souffle before. So a souffle is a type of French dessert. It's light, it's fluffy, it's made with kind of the white part of an egg, so that's whipped, and so it's a little bit, it's just a very light, it's known as a very light dessert.
Right, we could also say airy.
Airy, yes,
Very airy.
so lots
It's
of air
light
is
like
inside
the
of it.
air.
Yeah.
Most importantly, it won't fill you up.
Right. And so again, this is a reference to your stomach. It won't fill you up, meaning it won't make you feel full of food.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Now, in this case, does fill you up also mean drunk in...
No, it does not.
Okay.
So, and that's actually, in British English, you would say, I'm all full up.
Full up, that's
instead
right.
of I'm stuffed. Yeah.
Okay. So maybe we have some other suggestions here for light desserts, like, for example, a sherbet.
Yeah. Or tiramisu.
Okay.
And so these are both other kinds of desserts, but sherbet, and Adam said sherbet.
Sherbet.
Or you'll also hear sherbet.
Sherbet, yeah.
Sometimes, depending on where you are.
My father
especially in
says
the US.
sherbet.
Yep, lots of people in the U.S. say sherbet. But this is, it's kind of like an ice cream, but without the
no cream.
Yeah, so it's kind of it's a cold, frozen dessert that's icy, but
Right.
not really creamy.
So it goes to the sweet tooth.
Yeah, exactly. And then tiramisu. This is actually a delicious dessert. This is Italian. It's a coffee-flavored dessert, but again, also kind of light. It's got a mascarpone cheese. It's really delicious.
Now, everyone laughed at me today because I'd never heard of this.
Yeah, it's really shameful. I don't know how you qualified to do this podcast if you've never had tiramisu. But if you haven't tried it, you definitely should try it. Very common, very, very popular dessert.
You know, I have tried chocolate lava cake, Chris.
Oh.
I do have some dessert experience.
Okay, well then you're okay in my book, because that's my favorite dessert, a chocolate lava cake. Now, why is it called a lava cake? We know what a cake is.
Sure. Well, lava comes from a volcano, a fire mountain.
One of those mountains that explodes, yeah.
Right. And when it explodes, it explodes with lava.
Ah.
It's very hot. It runs very slowly or very quickly.
Right.
In some cases. But in this case, the lava is chocolate.
Right. So when you open up this cake, it's got a melted chocolate inside that's hot, so it runs out. That's one of my favorite desserts.
It is quite good.
Delicious. Yeah. And then we've also got an apple crumble.
Oh, now this one's my favorite.
So what's an apple crumble?
Well, it's almost like an apple pie. If anyone's ever tried an apple pie, it would be apple, sugar, maybe some spices. But in this case, it's not a pie. It's just sort of in a dish.
Yeah, so it's just not cooked in a pie dish. It's
Right.
not circular. Usually, in fact, it's probably square. when it's
Probably a
served.
square.
Yeah.
And maybe even have some ice cream on top.
Right, right.
So if Grandma, if you're listening, I could use some of your apple crumble.
Wonderful. Okay, and so, his date is made these suggestions of lava cake and apple crumble, which are quite rich as desserts. So again, we talked about rich is a word we use to describe food that is lots of taste. It's heavy. It's, this is not a light dessert. These are both quite delicious, but very heavy.
Very heavy.
Substantial desserts. And he says, I thought you didn't want anything too rich. And she says, right. So you order one. I'll just have a few bites.
Oh, this is a pretty common strategy.
What my wife says every time we eat anything. I'll just have a few bites and my food is gone.
You order it, Chris.
Yeah.
I'll have a few bites.
So what does it mean to have a few bites?
Well, this is just a bite means a mouthful of food.
Right.
Maybe a small mouthful of food.
Yeah.
So just have a few bites means that maybe we can share, but you will have more than me. I will just have just a little.
Right. Just a few tries, a few little samples of the food. Usually it ends up being more than that.
More than that.
So,
Okay, so let's listen to the dialogue 3 more times, and then we've got a few more rich and heavy dessert-related topics.
Dialogue first time.
Wow, that dinner was fantastic. What's for dessert?
Dessert? I'm absolutely stuffed. How can you still be hungry?
Well, I don't want anything too rich or heavy. I just need something for my sweet tooth.
I heard they have a signature souffle here. They're light and airy and won't fill you up. Or maybe some sherbet or tiramisu?
Are you sure you don't want to order a chocolate lava cake or an apple crumble?
You just said you don't want anything too rich.
Right, so you order one. I'll just have a few bites.
Dialogue second time.
Wow, that dinner was fantastic. What's for dessert?
Dessert? I'm absolutely stuffed. How can you still be hungry?
Well, I don't want anything too rich or heavy. I just need something for my sweet tooth.
I heard they have a signature souffle here. They're light and airy and won't fill you up. Or maybe some sherbet or tiramisu?
Are you sure you don't want to order a chocolate lava cake or an apple crumble?
You just said you don't want anything too rich.
Right, so you order one. I'll just have a few bites.
Dialogue third time.
Wow, that dinner was fantastic. What's for dessert?
Dessert? I'm absolutely stuffed. How can you still be hungry?
Well, I don't want anything too rich or heavy. I just need something for my sweet tooth.
I heard they have a signature souffle here. They're light and airy and won't fill you up. Or maybe some sherbet or tiramisu?
Are you sure you don't want to order a chocolate lava cake or an apple crumble?
You just said you don't want anything too rich.
Right, so you order one. I'll just have a few bites.
Okay, Adam, so in today's lesson, we learned about a lot of good, common types of desserts, both light desserts and maybe rich or heavy desserts. But what did we learn about? We heard about souffles, sherbet, tiramisu, chocolate lava cake,
Apple crumble.
apple crumble.
Oh, God, I'm so hungry.
Have we missed any other really good, popular desserts, though?
Well, I think probably the most common is just ice cream.
Yeah, exactly. So ice cream definitely qualifies as a dessert
Sure.
in most restaurants.
Just a little bit of ice cream.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I think as long as you know pies and cakes, then it's very easy to think of the other combinations, a chocolate cake or a fruit pie of some kind. And those are most of the famous desserts.
That's right. What's your favorite dessert, Chris?
Honestly, it is chocolate lava cake.
It is,
If
okay.
there's a good chocolate lava cake, I don't think it gets... I can be stuffed. I can be completely full, and I can always make room in my stomach for chocolate lava cake.
Well, usually my strategy is if I'm on a date, I will always suggest to my date, how about we just have dessert? Let's just forget dinner. I don't want to be so stuffed. Let's just have dessert.
That always works, too.
Yeah.
That always works. So
Also, I'm cheap.
Well, and that especially works if you're cheap or if you don't want to spend the day, and maybe if you don't want to have a second date, because they probably will not agree to go back out with you if you only buy them dessert. But please let us know what your favorite dessert is and why. You can leave us a comment on our website at openlanguage.com or follow us on Facebook, WeChat, and Twitter. We will see you next time, and happy eating. This is Chris. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.